Welcome to Mother Daughter Projects. I'm Steph. Today we're going to take a piece of live edge wood and turn it into a hanging nightstand. This piece of wood was purchased from a local sawmill about 6 months ago. During that time I had a chance to dry out in the location that's going to live. There were many ridges on this piece of wood, so I started with a 60 grit sandpaper. I went over the surface many times and really tried to get out the raised grooves. After it was sanded down, I noticed the center of the wood was raised and looked not so pretty. I decided to use a hole saw to cut out the middle section and then use a jigsaw to clean it up. We haven't had the opportunity to use a jigsaw that often, but every time we've used it, we find it's a really manageable tool, and I can easily see us using this a lot in the future. We love the look of this wood and wanted to warm it up a bit, so we used shellac to finish it. This was our first time using shellac. We recently heard a blogger talking about it and we decided to give it a try. And let me tell you, we love the feel of it and the look. It just kind of warms up the wood and it still looks very natural, and we'll probably use this a lot more in the future. Between thin coats, I used 220 grit sandpaper and removed the dust with tack cloth. I did 3 coats of shellac on the top and bottom of the wood. Now what to do with the hole in the middle? I decided to use it as a place to store small items. We thought clear epoxy would be perfect to accomplish this. First I cut a piece of contact paper to the size of the hole, then I cut a bigger piece and placed those two together. I put the contact paper on the back of the wood, then I put aluminum tape over that to really seal the back so the epoxy wouldn't come through. I mixed equal parts of resin and hardener and mixed them together to make the epoxy. Then I just poured it into place. I didn't want to fill the hole completely as I wanted to use it as a compartment to hold small items. There were some bubbles in the epoxy, so I used a heat gun at the low setting to remove them. In my bedroom, I found 2 studs on the ceiling and marked the location. Then I marked where to drill holes into the wood. I drilled a smaller hole, then a hole that was the size of the rope. We're using natural fiber rope, rope clamps, and swing hardware to attach the board. I pushed and pulled the rope through the holes and figured out the final length. We attached the rope together with glue and rope clamps. We held it up to figure out where the swing hardware needed to be placed on the ceiling. I drilled a pilot hole and screwed the hardware into place. And lastly, we remove the tape from the bottom of the epoxy. When the table was done, we put everything into place. I love the natural feel of this table and the center storage, but best of all, I love the sway the table has when it moves. It's really relaxing to watch. For more projects like this, make sure to visit us at motherdaughterprojects.com.